you trying to change the channel.
Crash landing in my soft spot for you got me so.
Shop employee is too
Dilione
traumatised to return to work after a terrifying hold-up in Melbourne's west. Masked bandits thrust guns at the man's face before escaping with cash.
Looping around the radio intro twice. Body bag media. Shout out bags each and every time, man. Strong and loyal. SAL. Flowz with his first single since Certain Situations. So hyped to hear some new Flowz music, man. So hyped to hear this, man. Let's do this, man. Very cinematic intro, audibly and visually.
Reverb and dusters on the track.
We've had the teaser clip, so we kind of know what vibe it's bringing. We know what Flowz brings to the table regardless. This definitely does feel like an intro to a project as well. And he hasn't even spat a bar yet. Interesting.
All the time I spent in prison, did it help me out? I'm talking to these four walls, what can you tell me now? I'm burning bridges that I've...
I'm talking to these four walls, what can you tell me now?
Spent in prison, did it help me out? I'm talking to these four walls, what can you tell me now? I'm burning bridges that I built, these people think I'm melting down. I signed a deal to feed my family, they say I'm selling out. I've been around the block before, I really lived the life. The judge gave me 5 years, I really did the time. I'm sick of seeing mumsy crying, tears up in my sister's eyes. My little brother asking why, I promise I'ma make it right. I still miss my brother Jesse and I hope he knows. I used to see his face up in the clouds when I was smoking cones. If you're listening to this, just know I love you, bro, there's no hard feelings. Mum and dad just want you home. All these lyrics that I'm writing, they don't ease the pain. I got a couple million views, but I don't really need the fame. If I could have a normal life today, then I would leave the game. If you want it, you can have it, that's an easy trade. I don't do the gossip, I ain't into talking louder.
So he's like, fuck fame, you know what, if I could just make my money and just do my thing personally, that's what I do. I don't really care for the fame, I don't really care for the attention. As long as my people are good, as long as I'm good, like, I don't mind.
If you want it, you can have it, that's an easy trade. I don't do the gossip, I ain't into talking loud. I had to cut some people off, I'm hanging with a smaller crowd. And they know who I am, where I come from, what I'm all about. And if we have a problem with each other, then we sort it out. And fuck the pipe, I ain't trying to puff my life away. I left that in the past, I'm walking forward towards a brighter day.
I'm not trying to puff my life away, I'm not trying to just sit there and just waste myself away. Like, I'm trying to actually do something with myself.
Tears falling like the rain and I don't want to cry again. I hope my ex is doing good, I'm really not the type to hate.
Hope my ex is doing good, I'm really not the type to hate. Like, I wish you well, like, we've parted ways, but you do you, boo.
Like the rain and I don't want to cry again. I hope my ex is doing good, I'm really not the type to hate. Every day's a lesson and I'm learning what I can. My mum and dad raised me right and prison turned me to a man. She loves it when I call her senorita, she's my biggest fan. But right now I can't do us, I hope she understands. I miss Shaf, I miss Sonny, will I see him soon? The only time I ever see my friends is when they're on the news. I miss my brother.
The only time I see my friends is when they're on the...
Shaf, I miss Sonny, will I see him soon? The only time I ever see my friends is when they're on the news. I miss my brother Betsy, I just want to go to heaven too. I'm praying every night, God tell me what I'm meant to do. I'm waking up in cold sweats when I sleep at night, cause there's a lot of pain and anguish that I keep inside. It hurts.
This beat is so perfect for Flowz, man.
I'm waking up in cold sweats when I sleep at night, cause there's a lot of pain and anguish that I keep inside. It hurts.
Them traumatic dreams.
Certain people died and I don't want to be alive. That's the truth, I'm being honest with you, I don't need to lie. This rap is more than just a Rolex and a Cuban link. It's supposed to make you feel at home, just like the house you grew up in. I had a good relationship and then I went and ruined it. She told me that she's done with all the fighting, so she threw it in. I'm a man and I won't hide the fact I've got to cry. It broke my heart when Davo told me he don't want to die. He's only 35 and he don't want to leave his kids behind. Rest in peace, I love you, bro, I think about you all the time. Just know your boys are doing fine, I hope you're looking down and smiling from that. I love you, bro, I think about you all the time. Just know your boys are doing fine, I hope you're looking down and smiling from that place up in the sky. I'll be there in a little while. Just know your boys are doing fine, I hope you're looking down and smiling from that place up in the sky. I'll be there in a little while. I ain't trying to die young like my mates did. I want to live a long life.
Talking about how many people he's lost, how many people he's left behind, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of pain, a lot of loss, a lot of suffering.
With my bro Riv, cause where we come from, no young like my mates did. I wanna live a long life with my bro rig, cause where we come from no one really makes it. I've got my eyes set up on the prize and I won't quit. When I was young I was bummy, I had no cash. I used to rack all my clothes, I was broke as weighing up buds at Lorenzo's mum's. Back then I was sticking up dealers with my bro shaft. I've come a long way from my house up in Monmouth, stoned every day blowing out them bong clouds. No doubt I was hanging with the wrong crowd. I went to jail, came home, look at what I've got now. New car, old friend, same postcode, and a watch with a crown as its logo. I'm dressed in Givenchy.
With a crown as the logo, trying to roll in that Rolex. He did say Givenchy, but I'm hoping he goes, I mean Da Vinci. But unless you man really do say Givenchy, listen man,
friend, same postcode.
Do what you want. Just, what would Spec say? What would Spec? No rules.
And a watch with a crown as its logo. I'm dressed in Givenchy, you're looking like a hobo. Flowz Dilione is my name if you don't know. Everybody wanna know what my life's like, but that's what happens when you're living in the limelight. I've come such a long way since the
price of life, yeah.
But that's what happens when you're living in the limelight. I've come such a long way since the price of life. I was 19, broke, smoking on an ice pipe.
And Flowz hopped on the on a level show to break down that freestyle. So if you want to do that, if I remember to, I'll put in a link in the description. If not, somebody comment it and I'll make sure I'll make it the pinned comment. But yeah, that's a really good episode for hearing Flowz talk about that freestyle and what he was going through at that time in his life. It was very interesting.
Thinking that's cool, I ain't have no role models. My older brother put them hoses in the Coke bottles. I smoked a lot of weed and I popped a lot of Xan. Sorry mum, I promise that I'll never do drugs again. I ain't trying to waste time when the clock's ticking. I don't need you in my life if you're not driven. I praise the Lord cause my family are God-given. It broke my heart, I couldn't hug them in a box visit. All I really need is them and a couple friends. People saying that they love me, but I know it's just pretend. When I was locked up in a cell, they didn't love me then. It's funny how things work out when on the other end. Drugs used to pay the bills, maybe rap could. I'm making money from...
Drugs used to pay the bills. Maybe rap could though. Maybe rap could pay my bills instead of the drug money.
Work out when on the other end. Drugs used to pay the bills, maybe rap...
A very long... You know what? When I seen 6 minutes, I really did expect there to be some cinematic music video, like scripted kind of acting part maybe. But he's really rapping what looks like is going to be 6 minutes. It was quite a long intro to be fair, but still, even then.
Good. I'm making money from my music, it's that good. Flowz one, I'm the realest you can ask around. I had them lifers in a cypher up in Atwood. I've done the hard yards, yeah, I've done the prison time. My first TV appearance, I was up on Channel 9. For jumping counters, I was wanted by the task force. Altona North, armed crimes, tell them get in line. I really come from the hood, I'm a rock star. You can see me driving round Newey in a hot car, or at the train stage taking photos with my fans. If you talking shit behind my back, you were not hard. I came from the bottom, taking photos with my fans. If you talking shit behind my back, you were not hard. I came from the bottom, so I'm gonna shine bright. Just like my dad was, I'm destined for the limelight.
You know what the thing is about Flowz? He isn't crazy lyrical in terms of vocab or he doesn't word things in a very poetic way. It's very to the point. And I would say that's where he has good lyricism. In terms of very simple storytelling, it's so easy to digest. It's very heavy to digest at the same time though, with the amount of pain he goes through. But you know what I mean? I'd say Husky probably is a bit more poetic and creates more imagery in your mind, you know? Husky has an amazing ability to do that. Flowz is more of a simplistic, rap style, but it is so clean how it comes off, man. So clean.
And fuck the yard shades, I ain't got no time for that, cause I've lost way too many friends to the ice pipe. When I was young I was confused, I didn't know how to deal with all the pain. I'd smoke a cone until I'd zone out. Along the way I lost myself up in them smoke clouds. My head spinning like I'm on a merry-go-round. I was on prescription pills to help me but they don't work. Seroquel fucks my head and Xannies make my bones hurt. When I was sick I couldn't even walk to go to church. Mumsy had to drive me everywhere like a chauffeur. Admitting that I had a problem was the first step. I had to throw the pipe away, I haven't seen the worst yet. I ended up in prison, then eventually my girl left. My family are everything, it kills me that I hurt them. Just to get to sleep I used to have to take a few Xans. I couldn't function properly on the drugs, tell me who can. Lunch break I used to have to take a few Xans. I couldn't function properly on the drugs, tell me who can. Lunch break I had no money for the food van. 3 years later and I'm feeling like a new man, yeah. And that's a wrap.
Feeling like a new man. Strong. Strong. Very, very, very long freestyle. I could argue a little bit too long. But definitely telling this story, kind of giving us an insight to where he is at this point in his life, man. So I rate it. If you've been about following the Aussie scene for a while now, whether you've been watching my content since the start, you'll know who Flowz Dilione is. If you don't, for whatever reason, maybe you're newer to it all, he's laid out a great foundation of what he's about, really. You know what I mean? He's about bettering himself. He's about his people and his people only. He's not focused on girls. He's not focused on dumb shit. He's just trying to get his money up, take care of his people, and just do his thing. And that's the vibe I've always got from Flowz, even speaking to him personally a small amount, you know. It's just about him. It's not about anyone else. It's like, fuck what you man think, and he genuinely means that. I think through the things that he's been through the life that he's lived, he's appreciative of the smaller things. He's appreciative of the support, you know. He's appreciative of his own space and his own time. I think he's just appreciating just being able to live another day and just, you know what I mean, be with his people. And yeah, I respect that. So with this freestyle here, it does feel like an intro to a project of some sort, you know. It's kind of like, yo, I'm out of prison now, here's what I'm about. And in a lot of ways, it's still the same as before. Obviously, he's mentioned a few times in this freestyle talking about not taking drugs no more, like it was wasting his life away. Like, no, we're on a bit more of a straight and narrow path, and I respect him massively for that. But it would be nice to have an EP or even an album from him to just kind of explore those themes in a bit more direct context, in more detail directly in each topic, but as an overall arc of what's going on in his life and just kind of touching base with the fans and listeners. I think this does a perfect job. Bagsy just laying out a real simple video that just allows Flowz to just tell his story, and everything else is done to a clean level. Like, beat choice was amazing. Yeah, just Flowz has done it right. But yeah, let me know if you've heard of Flowz before. Let me know if this is your first time, and just let me know if you're excited to hear more music from him, because I know that I definitely am.